Hello and welcome to this video. Now, this is the Acolyte and how to level it. Now, I will keep in mind that Rip Blood is changing, so I will give a round sort of suggestion because the tree might be slightly different. But pretty much, the anything that gives spell damage, cast speed, and the amount of health that you gain is what you want to go with Rip Blood, because we will be using Rip Blood to start off with, and Summon Skeleton. The Summon Skeleton, if you wanted to, you could spec into it as your second. Don't. The attack speed, cast speed is quite nice because if they attack quicker, obviously they're doing more damage, and the damage node. So between these two, you should get to the point where you don't really need to put any more points in, but you can obviously take here. So these 3 points is all you need to worry about with the skeletons. If you wanted to, you could go Golem instead, and the attack speed for the Golem is quite slow, so attack speed is quite nice. The damage, you could, if you went long enough with the Golem spec'd in, you could go the Pyre Golem, but the armor health is where I would suggest you go next. So like 15 points through these 3. The other thing I will say is Harvest. You can spec into it or just use it. The shred chance, not that big a deal. Ward gain per 2. 2 per point into percentage is where I would say go, and the area. So these points, and then that will get you to at least level 10 to 15. If you're still running it, then I would suggest you marked enemy damage, because you're going to start getting curses. So do more damage into there. So those sort of nodes will get you through to the fissure and all that. So that's the sort of way you can go. Bone Curse use once you get it, but you don't have to spec into it. If you do, slow duration is quite nice. Area, obviously you cover way more enemies. Marked for death on cast. Damage, like if you're specking into it, you're probably specking into it as your third, so you won't have it for as long, but I'd go these 3. That will get you through. If you want, you can go the area, damage, into the kill threshold, and they'll get you enough points to progress through until you're rocking these. So the fissure looks like this. From here, the sort of, this is very important. The mana cost can be quite high. From here, I would suggest the damage. The fissure damage per second you can go, or you can go damage to rares and bosses. So you can see we're at 15, we can take 3 here, 2 there. The Spirit Plague. The Spirit Plague, the mana efficiency is not that terrible. The slow into frailty into necro damage per point, per intelligence point, is probably the way we're going, with maybe another one to spread. The Chaos Bolt, which is our main skill, obviously uses Rip Blood. Rip Blood, as I said, it all depends on how they change it, but pretty much we're using that to gain health and to do damage. The damn chance into the hit damage to damned is one way we're going. You could also go the damage over here. So the 4 points over here, 1 point over there if you want, or 3 points here, 2 points there. The Rip Blood, I explained. The Infernal Shade. The way you can go, increase area, the chance for Blaze Shade, and you don't necessarily have to take that one, but where is it? The more damage, taking a point into here and going this way is a way we can go. Lingering isn't terrible because obviously if it lays on the ground, things come to us, then it attaches. The more damage and area is quite nice, and even more area over here because we do lose some radius through this node, which is a more damage node. So pretty much prioritize this one, in my opinion. So we go to here, over to here, take out the 5, so that's 7, and we're left with 2. So we take 1 here, and we got our points. Now, okay, we'll do a beacon. Now, we'll try and do a good showcase of it. Zoom out so I can actually see. What's this do? I won't do it just because I want to show that. Oh yeah, and we got our golem. Hopefully it's not too loud. He is virtually just a meat shield. So we're going around cursing stuff. We have our transplant for our movement skill. But yeah, we fissure, we can curse, and we chaos bolt, and we use transplant to move around. So we'll try to find, here we go, here's a bigger pack. Now I think my Acolyte is down on, yeah, because I'm playing solo self-found, no other character or anything obviously can help. So we are down on cold, so we don't actually want to stand anywhere near cold. And as you can see, the ward gain is quite nice, and we retain it to a higher level, so the overall actual health pool is quite high because we are relying a lot, jump out of that, on having high ward. So as you can see, we can just run around and things die around us. We'll just curse a few things so you can see the damage sort of on that. As you can see, it's just taking nice little tick damage. That's stronger in the campaign. We can actually pretty much kill trash with that. But yeah, we literally just run around, and for the most part, everything takes care of it for us. For tankier stuff, obviously we pull out our Chaos Bolts and start doing damage ourselves. Then if we come up here and we actually activate the beacon, we'll see some more damage. Do another fissure. And yeah, pretty much you don't need to really put any more levels or skills anywhere. It is purely what you want, where you want, because as you can see, we are quite nicely going through stuff. Obviously, we can run into something that is just terrible for us. I'm hoping the sound isn't too loud for you. And we just did the monolith. Not the monolith. The echo. And we got nothing. So yeah. The gear, I'm not sure if I showed or not, but summon skeletons, like, it's not helping us. It's purely for the resistances. Pretty much everything is just for the resistances. This is one of the champion things. It's not giving us that much more with the sealed affix. As you can see, it's just a nice little bonus. All these are just resistances. So as you can see, it's purely doable by anyone doing anything. And yeah, it's pretty much go as you want sort of way. Not sure if I showed the passive tree. We'll talk about the passive tree just in case I didn't. Okay, so we want to put all our points into here since we're playing Chaos Bolts. Coming up here, 2 points here, 5 points here isn't a terrible idea. More damage over time. Poison chance if you want to go poison, and ward per point. I wouldn't necessarily go what you should, because changes throughout the tree, but if you're playing a necromancer, you obviously want minion health, minion damage, minion either armor, dodge chance, anything like that. Same as primalist, you want to be able to keep your minions alive and go all that. Intelligence, health, and damage is pretty much carte blanche for all Acolyte, but pretty much these three nodes say it all. The increased damage, increased health, and leech, and intelligence and mana regen. Look for that throughout the trees. And yeah, this is the passive tree at the moment. The ward gain on kill and stuff like that. Less damage whilst channeling. It is over here if you choose one of the other skills. We can take this intelligence, vitality, and obviously the way I said, but we do have fire damage, all that we can go to. But it's pretty much, did I show the base Acolyte? This is the base, just in case I didn't show it. Armor, not that important. The damage and intelligence and necro res is quite important. The mana regen, as you saw, we do use quite a bit of mana, but we have enough regen. As you can see, just using the bolts by itself and all that, we're quite fine. Do that. We actually need enemies in the area to sustain our mana using the fissures, and we can spam the curses all we want. The fist damage over time doesn't really affect us. The 108% water retention is where we're getting so much survivability. So yeah, the Acolyte is, from here, whatever you want to do, really, because this, at its point, is done as far as the base level you want to get to. The from here, it's pick what you want, do what you want, but pretty much damage, intelligence, ward gain, anything to do with health. So our base health is higher. Obviously, scaling tags, just look at them and pick stuff that increases the scaling. This is purely a meat shield. You don't even have to run it. You can have it blank if you want. Like, don't run anything there, or run something else that you want. But yeah, from here you can do whatever you want. It is that easy, and you can play through the campaign and stuff quite nicely. Hopefully that helped you with leveling a Acolyte, and see you in the next video, and goodbye.